Seal talks for a really long time after find hidden base, so try not to get thrown off by that. For our next mission, ideally we want one where we optimally start and end with sword and shield equipped. So Duel in the Desert is a perfect choice. The other two options wouldn't really work. This one that just got added in, by the way, is Stop the Hacking. This stage is short and simple, but quite challenging. It has an interesting mechanic where it spawns these pantheons on a fixed timer. So you'll be running into them throughout the stage, but their exact location will vary depending on how fast you're going. If you go fast, they'll generally be further back, and if you're slow, they'll be further forward. So you have to be ready to account for that as the situation calls for. We want to do extended jump slashes as we're approaching this camel. That way we won't trigger the hit lag twice, like we normally do if we go at it with a spin slash. Then just dash underneath it and kill this guy, who will generally be somewhere around this area. If you're going really fast, he can basically be right on top of the shell guy, which can be kind of a problem, since we want to kill the Pantheon without hitting the shell for RNG manipulation. And then another extended jump slash on that camel. And you want to take this upper path. Do not try and go through there. It's a bad idea. So you'll kill this Pantheon as you're jumping up here, and then you've got this bomb to get past. You want to go underneath it and then kill the Pantheon on the far side. We don't want to kill the bomb like that. That will affect the RNG. There is a backup if you do accidentally hit it. I'll go over that at the end of the video. To make it easier, you can pause for a moment here and then go. Just whatever works for you. Now, similar to Anubis' stage, hitting these things will affect the RNG. So we want to dodge these. And then we'll go down here, and we're going to hit the far right one as we dash onto it, jump, and land on the far left one, so they all fall for the manipulation I do. So jump those ones, knock down all those. Now I've got a choice to make coming up. There's a specific number of Pantheons we want to have killed by the end of the stage in order to get my manipulation. Which ones are conveniently available for killing will vary based on how fast you're gone throughout the stage. Almost every time we want to kill this guy. But if you're going really fast, he'll be like on top of this shell guy, and we don't want to kill him in that situation. Because this guy, who's up on the hill to the left of me, if you're going fast enough, he will be so far back that you won't even be able to jump over him. So, in that situation, we would want to have skipped that guy, and then kill this one that would be in our way. Like I said, it's very rare for you to actually have that kind of speed in an actual speed run. It's more of like an IL situation in my experience. But if you do find you're going that fast during actual runs, it's something you should be prepared for. And then there's this helicopter thing. It'll drop some Pantheons. We'll just jump through it with a extended jump slash, and it should clear a path for us. And we jump those guys, and we're pretty much at the end. there is one last thing we have to do to get the RNG manipulation finalized. So, we all know that kicking up smoke clouds by sliding on walls affects the RNG. Normally this is undesirable because you can't really control it and it's slow to go for, since you have to wait a while you're sliding on the wall. But interestingly, if you jump into a wall while holding the shield out, you will often kick up exactly one smoke cloud right as you jump off the wall. If you jump too early, you can still avoid it, so that is something to be careful about when we're deliberately doing this for RNG manipulation. Make sure you really hit the wall before you all jump off of it. But that lets you consistently get a single smoke cloud without costing you much time. It's handy for the manipulations. Now, if everything's gone according to plan, he'll be doing the attack where he jumps over you 3 times in a row, and that'll be enough time to kill him. You do need to space yourself pretty well, or else you can get hit when he lands. So generally, after he jumps, you have to walk towards him a bit and then turn around. You also want to wait before attacking him, because if you attack him too early like that, it'll change his pattern. So you do a full length dash. You don't even need to press any directions on the D-pad, just hold the dash until you stop, and then start attacking. And since we have his weakness equipped, the Thunder Chip, once we get him down to 8 health, we can end the fight by throwing the shield into him. It's only a little bit faster than doing regular attacks, so if you're having trouble keeping track of what his health is at, or whatever, it's not a huge deal if you just finish him with regular hits. Here's what the fight looks like with a pretty optimal attack rhythm. You can get 4 hits in before he clears you. Normally you'll only get 3 if you're taking it kind of safe. And then you can end the fight before he jumps over you a 3rd time. It's safer to jump up and throw at the same time, but if you've got a really immaculate fight, you can actually go fast enough that you can throw the shield without jumping first and finish him off before he gets over it. Alright, let's look at the fight without RNG manipulation. If you're in melee range with Fefner, he will only ever do 2 attacks. He'll do that shockwave where he jumps over you, which is optimal, or he will dash forward and try to grab you. And if he goes for that, you need to be ready to jump over him. Generally, if I don't have RNG manipulation, I like to push him back with my first attack by going for it a bit earlier than I normally would, just to create some space and get started with the fight in an optimal way. Don't do a dash attack, that's silly. And then anytime he's about to attack, you just jump over him unless you see that he's doing the shockwave. It's not too bad with practice. It'll definitely be slower by a pretty substantial amount. You might lose a few seconds if you've got to jump over him a lot. But it's not too bad as long as you don't let him catch you. You don't want to let him get out of melee range, because then he starts doing a bunch of other attacks and it gets a lot harder to manipulate him in a beneficial way. So I mentioned that there was a backup RNG manipulation in case you hit the bomb over here. So if you destroy that, instead of taking the upper route, we go down here by just dashing off that hill. And then, again, we just dash off this one. Sometimes this Pantheon will be in range to attack. Sometimes you've got to do another jump to get him. We kill him. We kill that turtle shell with spin slashes. That Pantheon. And this section's all the same. And at the end of the stage, we don't kick up a smoke cloud before going up to Fafnir with this route. And that'll give you the exact same pattern. In fact, it looks like it's even giving you the exact same RNG value. I figured it was just two different RNGs that gave the same pattern, but I guess the different routes happen to add up to the same, which is interesting trivia. I'll just show this fight once more. So I'm going kind of slow, so I'm going to have to let him get over before I kill him. .33 is possible on this stage, but that's really rare. 34 is normally what you'll get with a solid run. This one was a 35 because Fafnir was kind of slow, and taking the alternate route after destroying that bomb is a little bit less than optimal. You have to do an extra wall jump